right. Well, I am bringing forth a piece of news today that I have to bring forth because it really.
Sandy, we lost your mic.
Uh-oh.
There it is. We're good.
It's muted.
It's muted.
You're muted.
Okay.
There you go.
One more time. Let's try this again. Can you hear me?
Yep. We're good.
Right. I'm bringing forth a piece of news that's annoying to me, and y'all may disagree with it, but I'm going to bring it out anyway because there's things that are happening because of this CV thing, this mandatory mask thing or highly suggested mask thing. Well, I'm going to talk about it, and I'm going to use a study done back in 2015 to springboard us. Is 2015 before? Well, it's before at least the known quote unquote outbreak. Cloth masks are dangerous for your health. This study was done, from a Science article, and it was done by the University of New South Wales. It says respiratory infection is much higher among healthcare workers wearing cloth masks compared to medical masks. Research shows cloth masks should not be used by any healthcare setting. That means, this is me, probably you either. So anyway, healthcare workers may actually put healthcare workers or others at increased risk of respiratory illness and viral infections, and their global use should be discouraged, according to the UNSW. 1,607 hospital healthcare workers across 14 hospitals split into three groups: those wearing masks, medical masks, those wearing cloth masks, and a group based on unusual practice, which including mask wearing. Anyway, workers used the mask on every shift, and they found that respiratory infection was much higher among healthcare workers who wore the cloth mask. And the penetration of cloth masks by particles was almost 97%. Mm-hmm. 97% compared to the medical mask. Okay, so masks, it says here, are especially they're important for if you're on the front line as a doctor or nurse, but it needs to be the right kind. And most likely, if you're not, you probably shouldn't be wearing them unless you're sick. Maybe the authors speculate that cloth masks, moisture retention, their reuse, and poor filtration explain this high increase in infection. Now, I want to jump from that to a couple other things that have made the news late. We've had a couple kids die. I'm not sure if I think it was in China, because they were wearing masks while they were working out. Guys, why are you wearing a mask if you're outside in the first place? That's silly. That's stupid. Yeah, that's my opinion, and I'm pretty solid on it. Here's another thing. A woman passed out because she was wearing a mask and she was driving her car and had a crash. Well, guess what, folks? Take your masks off. It's already been proven that this quote unquote CV thing, the particles are so small, they're not going to matter. Even the ones at the doctors, it doesn't matter. And then some say, well, it keeps you from touching your face. A study shows that you touch your face more if you wear a mask. Come on, folks. Stop listening to the line of the government and those powers that be, and let's get real and take back our freedom. You don't need to wear a mask. You need to get the word of God on, put on the full armor, and trust in him, and pray that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Hello? And on top of that, it is not good for you to be breathing in that same thing. In fact, doctors and nurses actually change their masks pretty often because of disease and germs like that, and they're in a hospital setting. And we have people wearing their masks all the time. I wanted to go to the gym today because gyms open back up, and I need to stay healthy, especially if an Exodus comes along and I got to carry a 100-pound backpack with me sometime or somewhere, unless we're translated something else like that. But I need to stay healthy. But one of the requirements to go work out is to wear a mask and full finger gloves. Well, I'm not going to do that. So I'm either going to show up and not have it on because I pay the membership, because you're not going to take my own president doesn't wear a mask. Hello? You want me to? Okay. This is my rant. This is our discussion. So y'all jump in, and you can totally disagree with me. That's okay. But this is my opinion. Sandy Craig.
I think we all pretty much agree with you. But,
okay. Amen. You're right.
Well, there was an article
Go ahead.
No, I was to say I just don't. I don't wear a mask at all. I haven't wore one. It's so funny because less than a week into the quarantine, when the quarantine started, well, I'm doing. Most of you know I'm doing a lot of remodeling on our house, and I was doing a lot of sanding. So I went down to Home Depot to get me a mask because I had run out of them. And the guy there acted like I was an idiot. What do you mean a mask? We haven't had masks in weeks, because of the quarantine. He thought I was buying it because of the quarantine, and it's like, oh, okay. So you don't have any masks, and I just haven't wore any since then. But I do have like something that I'll tie around the back like a bandana or wherever like that, but still it's ridiculous. Go
if
ahead.
I wear one, I'm going to cut out this part right here.
Amen. Amen.
About getting a Lone Ranger mask. They didn't say it had to cover your mouth.
Nothing like making a statement, Sandy. Thank you.
It's ridiculous that you have to wear a mask at the gym because you're sitting there and you're breathing hard. Doctors, and I had an argument with a nurse, mind you, that I've been 23 years a nurse. And I says, that's wonderful. And doctors wear them for 10-hour surgeries. I says, that's right. But guess what? They don't sit there and run. They don't sit there while they're doing the surgery and go, yeah, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. No, they stand still and their arms are in movement. They don't have their lungs working out like when you're running or when you're exercising. And in fact, I saw an article where a little Chinese boy they were back to school, in China, some areas in China, but you had to wear a mask in school. They had physical education. A little boy died of asphyxiation because of running and wearing a mask. He was breathing in that CO2 harder. And then the other thing that gets me is, don't go outside. We have to be 6 feet apart, but you can't go outside in your backyard. Your neighbor is 20 feet from you, but you can't go outside and sit out in the sun. And wear that mask while you're sitting outside.
It's a joke. It is a conspiracy that's true.
I just sit there and I go, where's everybody's brain? Did they take it out of their heads and put it on a shelf? It's like, the professor sitting there going, okay, everybody take your brain and you put it on the shelf and you put the mask on. Oh, and by the way, there was a man that was on a plane and he's a doctor and he had a mask on. And guess what? He got coronavirus. So he said he got it from his eye. So everybody wear blindfolds now.
I like it. I have to say, literally, the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life, driving down the road, and I wish I'd have got a picture of this. A guy in a truck driving with a mask on. By himself in the truck, driving down the road, and he's got a mask on.
That's because he's worried he's going to catch it from himself.
Eddie, Tammy, I want to give you time to jump in on this very heated topic.
Well, hey, you said it. They know that by wearing the mask, it lowers your immune system and makes you more susceptible. So when they bring round 2 here in the fall that they're planning on, you're going to go for it. You're going to get it. And they want this mandatory vaccination.
Don't do it.
We're going to prelude to the mark of the beast. We will not be able to buy, sell, trade. We can't go get gas because we don't have our certificate of vaccination. We can't go to the store because we don't have our certificate of vaccination. And the vaccination has RNA, DNA modifiers that make you non-human.
That ink, that special ink that can't be removed from your body, that's in that vaccine, and it's going to penetrate every area. And they've even admitted that, remember, the vaccine patent is 060606. They've even admitted that they have a DNA, something that they've identified the gene of the radical, basically, people of faith, and a way to numb that gene so that it's no longer there, so that you will not be passionate about God or anything else. Amen. So hello, people. Now, Chris, go ahead.
I was going to say the other thing that's interesting is, sorry, I'm going to put my glasses on because this is another ridiculous thing. 8th grade, a science class. Science has taught us that viruses cannot be killed by a vaccine.
It's true.
mean, you have the flu shot, which is a virus, right? I mean, come on, people. Do your research. Go back to your 8th grade science biology and research this out. Don't believe everything that is being vomited out. You need to research it. It says it in the scripture as well. Test everything.
Terry, who's in our chat room, who is a nurse, said, not only that, but there is no filter made that is small enough to stop a virus anyway. They taught us that in nursing school.
Wow.
That's 8th grade science too.
Eighth grade science. Hello, people.
Well, but the way I see it is America, especially, really the average intelligence really isn't too much above 3rd grade anyway. So what if it's taught in 8th grade? Most people, I'm sorry, I probably shouldn't say that.
Homeschool your kids, people.
Yep. Homeschool, and you know what? Fear not. Stop worrying and fearing and focusing on that, and focus on the flowers that are in the desert.
There we go. Good idea.
I'm coming for our flight into the wilderness. Can I put a little thing on your opening there for Bamidbar?
Sure.
In the 54th verse of the 1st chapter, there is what Tammy and I called, I think we coined the phrase, a double did. Okay.
Double did.
Yeah. When we brought this up, a particular rabbi of a congregation, when we were talking to him, this was many years ago, we said, did you notice the double dids? And of course, he being a rabbi, and of course his lineage, the Chabad rabbi, he says, double dids? What do you mean? I says, well, here it is. Verse 54. And the children of Israel did according to all that Yehovah commanded Moshe, so did they. What? What's this double did in here for, guys?
Double did.
Guys, that's saying the Torah doesn't waste words. This is saying there's coming a group of people that's going to be at Mount Sinai, and they're going to do according to all that Yehovah, the Lord, had commanded Moses. The so did they is talking about me and you, and we got to get to Mount Sinai. I had to get that.
Lost again. Mike's gone again. It's like every time she starts. It's like every time she starts.
Muted.
Yeah, take it off.
I wonder why you're muted, Sandy.
Sandy.
No, she's there. Her microphone does this for some reason. It'll automatically mute for her. So what the deal is? We've had this problem before. She'll be back.
So this is a double did, Mark.
Right.
Guys.
Very cool. I was looking at it myself. It says, thus, my version says, thus did the people of Israel. They did according to, that's interesting. Things like that we don't usually notice. And
Gosh, I love it. We go nuts over the double dids. We go nuts over it because somebody say it.
So somebody asks you, hey, have you done this yet? I double did it. That's my new answer to things is, yep, I double did it.
You double did it. Amen. That's the double dids, man. That means we're going to do it again.
We are richly blessed to bring you what we believe is the fullest, most diverse, yet up-to-date progressive teachings, discussion, and prayer programming you can find anywhere on this planet. Be sure to take the tour of the MessianicLambRadio.com website. I'm Susan Hoogie, thanking you for joining us on the Messianic Lamb Video Network.